Hi, I'm Charles with Anycat. Previously, Denji was dismembered by a horde of devils, but is brought back to life when his loyal devil companion sacrificed its own life. In doing so, Denji becomes a demon hybrid with chainsaws attached to his body, and forced to become a devil hunter with public safety. The start of his new life is a bit chaotic though, as he has a difficult time getting along with his teammates. The story continues after Denji's partner named Power has just killed a devil. Their boss Makima must scold her though, since it turned out to be a civilian hunter's devil. Makima explains that it is Denji's job to control Power, since after becoming a fiend, she gets worked up very easily. Makima questions if Power should be a hunter at all, so Power tries to say that Denji commanded her to kill the devil. He wants to arrest her for being a liar, but Power states that humans like Denji are the real liars. Makima is surprisingly able to calm Power down, and asks that the two do their best to show that they can work together. That night, Denji thinks about how things aren't going so well with his partner, and how he should probably wait before trying to hit on her. He explains that just being able to grab a drink is totally different from his old life, and that they should be careful since messing things up would mean they lose their lives. Power then explains that she only enjoys the company of cats, and hates humans. It's nothing personal against Denji, and her hatred is mostly just demonic instinct. Power reveals that she hates devils too though, since one had taken her beloved cat, and she will do anything to get it back. Denji thinks it's dumb to care so much about a cat, but acknowledges that his willingness to do whatever it takes to get with a girl is just as dumb. Power then offers him a deal. If he helps her retrieve her cat, then she promises to let him touch her. Denji then becomes enraged at the devil that kidnapped her precious animal, and promises to kill it. Later at headquarters, Denji requests a leave of absence for Power since she isn't allowed to go out on her own, and it is approved. Power explains that she knows where the devil that took her cat is, but she can't do anything since the devil will likely use her cat as a shield against her, meaning Denji must be the one to fight. He explains that he had a pet once too, and that it continues to live on inside him. She points out that it just means that Pochita is actually dead, and Denji thinks about how he doesn't believe he will ever get along with her. Elsewhere, Makima reports to the higher-ups at Public Safety about the latest additions to the experimental squad. She reveals that one of them is very interesting, but is reminded that her job is only to raise them till they are able to work, and that she must never get attached. In the car, Hayakawa states that he thinks Denji is disgusting and not interesting. Makima then explains that it is said that devils are born with names, and the more these names are feared, the more powerful the devil will become. As an example, a coffee devil would be weak, but a car devil that people could imagine being run over by might be strong. She then points out that Denji is able to transform into a chainsaw devil, and to her, that can be considered interesting. Hayakawa concedes to her point, but questions if Denji will be useful to them. Everyone else at Public Safety has serious goals, but Denji simply wants to live the good life. Furthermore, Denji seems to think that he can befriend devils, and Hayakawa thinks that makes him a stupid brat. Elsewhere, Denji and Power approach the devil's location, and he hopes that he doesn't have to transform since the chainsaws cause him to lose lots of blood, but Power thinks he is joking when he explains his transformation. Denji questions why Power isn't hiding and begins to realize that something is off, but it's too late as Power knocks him out. She commends him for having good instincts as she drags him into the house and shuts the door. Inside, a deep voice complains about how long she took, and Power shuts him up by showing the human she brought. The devil prepares to have his first meal in years, and shows Denji his missing arm that was taken by humans. Denji couldn't care any less, and the devil states that it is now time to heal the wounds humans gave him by using human blood. Its plan works, but the devil complains about the disgusting taste of Denji's blood. It plans to get rid of the taste with another human, and Denji thinks back to when Hayakawa mocked him for thinking he could befriend a devil. Power explains how foolish humans are as she can't believe that Denji fell for her story. However, as the devil decides on eating some children, Power demands that he release her cat named Meowie. The bat plans to keep its promise, but remembers that he hasn't punished Power yet for bringing bad tasting blood, and eats Meowie. Power is shocked and remembered the day she met her cat. She had found it as it was near death, and decided to put some meat on its bones before eating it. Meowie would eventually become obese, and Power would think about how strange it was that she hadn't killed Meowie yet. Everyone else that had ever met her eyes had died, and the sounds of people screaming had become common for her. In that moment, the Bat Devil took the cat and demanded that she bring a human in exchange. Meowie is gone now though, and Power explains that she now understands how Denji felt after losing Pochita. The Bat Devil then consumes her as well, but complains of the bad taste again and flies off to go eat children. He realizes that Denji is holding on to him as he demands that he give back Power, and is disgusted to see that Denji is drinking his blood. As the bat grabs him, Denji begins to pull his cord and recounts the time that he had lost Pochita. He feared the worst, but was relieved to find Pochita at home waiting for him, and the two held each other as they slept. Denji can only wonder how Power must have felt as she tried to sleep alone, knowing that Meowie was with the devil. He pulls his cord to transform and cuts the devil's arm off. The devil is shocked to see that Denji is actually a devil as well, and their fight ends up in the streets. The bat is extremely powerful and is able to overpower Denji, but Denji doesn't help himself as he tries to keep people from getting hurt. The bat attempts to take advantage of this by throwing a car with a guy in it, but Denji points out how he doesn't care about saving some guy. Denji uses the car to deal some damage, but the bat uses a technique to send him flying. It plans to consume the man, but is shocked to hear that Denji is still alive. Denji explains that he has demonstrated great patience, but is now fed up that even after everything, he has yet to get a girl. More motivated than ever, Denji unleashes a couple powerful attacks. He then closes the gap quickly and deals the final devastating blow. Afterwards, we get a look at Power's past as she feeds on different animals and is accompanied by Meowie. After the Bat Devil took the cat, Power could not understand why she so desperately wanted to save it. She thinks she is only being foolish, but explains that even after a life of obsessing over blood, she only now realized how warm and pleasant it is. Power then wakes to find that Meowie is once again in her arms, and she is in the arms of Denji. She can't understand why he saved her even after she tried to kill him, but he subtly reminds her of their agreement. Power apologizes for lying and grants him his wish. Denji celebrates the moment he has been waiting for his entire life, just as his arm gets blasted off and consumed by a whole nother devil. Denji asks if Power is able to move, but she can't at all, and asks him to flee with Meowie. He refuses and attempts to transform again, but finds that he is unable to bring out all his chainsaws as he is low on blood. The devil explains that the Bat Devil was her man, but finds Denji attractive and will allow him to escape. She does however plan to kill Power and Meowie, so Denji refuses and begins yet another fight. This devil is exceptionally strong as well, and Denji can only do his best to avoid its attacks. Power watches and can't believe that he fights the way he does just so that he could touch a girl. Denji fights hard but takes a beating, and the devil is surprised to see that a weakling like him defeated her boyfriend. She explains that they had dreamt of one day eating every human in the entire world, but Denji has now ruined that. She plans to finish him off, but Denji refuses to die as he has yet to get with the girl. The devil can't believe that's why he fights, and Denji thinks about all the people that put down his dream. He attacks again with more ferocity and manages to cut its throat. Denji has become tired of everyone trashing his goals and hearing everyone's fancy dreams like revenge and protecting their family. He is completely fed up now and challenges the devil to a dream battle. Denji exclaims that losing to him means that the person he defeated must have had a weaker dream than his dream of touching a girl. Desperate to prove that his dream is better, Denji tangles the devil up using her boyfriend's intestines. He deals some good damage, but the devil lands several hits on Denji, and Power watches as he becomes demoniacal. He is seemingly crazy in this state and compromises himself by getting up close. Denji doesn't do enough damage and pays the price as the devil pierces and begins to consume him. However, just then, Hayakawa demonstrates his strange ability that allows him to summon a devil where his hand wants. Denji is then saved as Hayakawa gives his devil permission to swallow their enemy. The battle is now over and Hayakawa confirms the extermination of the Leech Devil. He commands that the rookies search for anyone in need and the senior in their squad named Himeno to keep watch for more devils. Denji is taken away as he is still in a frantic state, and Hayakawa has Meowie sent to a vet to be checked. Afterwards, Denji wakes as Hayakawa explains that he found his arm and finally realizes just how similar Denji is to a devil as it was able to reattach. Denji points out how hypocritical it is for Hayakawa to have a devil friend, but he points out that devil hunters form contracts with devils to fight against them. His contract with the Fox Devil allows him to offer a bit of his body as food in exchange for power. Hayakawa explains that both devils and fiends yearn for the death of humans, but Denji thinks power isn't that bad. However, Hayakawa explains that several clues make him think that Power tried to kill him, and Hayakawa can't understand why he is trying to protect yet another devil. He reveals that if he reports his findings to the higher-ups, Power will be disposed of, and so will Denji since he tried to cover for her. Hayakawa won't make the report though under the condition that Denji do whatever he says. He thinks that Denji is a dumb brat with no clue about what's right or wrong. If he wants to keep the good life, then Denji must agree, so he agrees to keep it in the back of his mind. Denji admits that his dream seems small compared to the others, but he is just as serious about things as the rest of them. Outside, another squad member questions if it's okay to let Power go, since if she kills a human, then Hayakawa will be responsible. He releases her anyway and explains that she is still the enemy, but if they can use her, then they will. Later, Hayakawa gives his altered report to Makima, and she states how strange it was for them to get as far out of the approved area as they did without anyone noticing. Hayakawa believes that they should overlook that though, since there were no casualties, and they managed to defeat 2 devils. She notices that Hayakawa has softened a bit and wonders if it's because of Denji, but he denies changing at all. The next morning, Hayakawa begins his day, and Denji can't believe how he always gets up so early. The 2 roommates prepare for lunch just as someone begins to knock on the door, and eventually breaks it open. It's Power, and Hayakawa would later be told that she will be living with them. Makima explains that she is sending their most unpredictable members to him because he is the only one she trusts, so he accepts it. He was told that Power would be on her best behavior, but it quickly becomes clear that she won't be. At one point even refusing to bathe, and not wanting to flush the toilet. Denji is at his limit as he cleans the filthy toilet, and scolds Power as she enters the room, but quickly changes his tune when she reminds him of their deal. Power explains that she never intended to let him come near her, but his efforts to save her and her cat have paid off, and Denji just now realizes how much of an angel she is. Thanks for watching part 2, all other parts will be in a pinned comment below.